I found far more answers in the woods than I ever did in the city. You see, there is something about being outside in nature, isn't it? That we can't really put into words. But being outside and just walking, just staring at the starry night and walking with your dog, taking a deep breath and inhaling that fresh air in the morning, or that great air after it rains. I love that smell. You probably know it has a name. I can't remember it right now. It also has a cool name, but I love that smell. It's great smell after rain, or just wandering on for no reason at all. Wandering in a forest, picking up a stick and bumping it into things along the way. Just sitting back and twiddling your thumbs. See, in all of these, there is a deep meaning, but when you try to explain it, we forget the words. See, this sense of fullness and wholeness, or this stillness, it's hard to pinpoint it. This feeling that you get, this feeling of connectedness with everything else, connectedness with other people or with nature or with the things around you. Taking it that deep, fresh air, just blowing it out, letting it go. There is something about that you can't really put into words because it's a feeling, it's an experience. And you see this feeling and being outside, just wandering for no reason at all, being around nature, it can heal you, it can relax you. I mean, there is also a term we call like forest bathing or something like that. But they just take people into the forest and then they just take them for a walk. Just go for a walk and that's it. It's very funny, but you see, it can heal you, it can relax you. And how many poets, how many artists have gotten inspiration from nature, inspiration from being aware of the things that ordinary people don't notice, having this poet's eye. You see, now I'm looking at the camera, and it's as if we're looking back at me. With this little eyes, you see, there are those circles in that camera, and it's also, it's almost like it's piercing through my soul, and it has like 5 eyes, just like a spider. It's so interesting, the noticing the things that you wouldn't normally notice. I mean, looking at this coffee that I have here, it's like there's a whole another universe in this. I might put up some pictures of it, but it's so interesting. Or it's almost like there are millions of eyes looking back at me, saying, "Ooh, hello, I'm here." It's so interesting now, isn't it? It's about having this poet's eye. You know, I mean, creativity, it's all around you. I mean, just look at what's around you and that's it. Look at this coffee mug. It's like a great universe is here and it's jiggling around. When it's spinning around, it's just like our galaxy having a spin, having a great time. I mean, isn't this interesting? And feeling that coffee, really paying attention to the senses and how it tastes. This is the greatest gift of life. Our consciousness, that we're alive, that we can sense and all of that. But we can so easily forget this when we're so lost in everyday's task and all sorts of trivialities. We forget the very fact that we are alive and we can taste this coffee and smell it and how great it is. And we have other people around us and all of that stuff. I mean, isn't that great? You see, this is why I love being outside in nature, taking a walk. It allows me to stop thinking for a while and just be there, be aware. Having this awareness around me of noticing things and stopping the chattering in my mind just for a little bit and just experiencing. Like it was a whole new, I mean, it is a whole new experience. Every experience that you have is always new. There's always subtle differences and everything. It's never the same experience. It's always changing. And the you that clicked on this video is not the you who's watching right now. So it's interesting. So I love it, you see. I love going outside, being in nature. I mean, just for example, let me tell you a story. The day I wrote this script, I went, I mean, every morning nowadays, for the last like month or so, every morning I take my dog for a walk and I go for a walk with him. And it's great to see. It's one of the highlights of my days, really. But at that day, it was rain. I mean, it started raining when I was out there walking. It wasn't like that big of a rain. It was just a little raining. It was great, you see. It was such an interesting feeling. The rain coming down on me, and this feeling of connectedness and the sensitivity of everything around me, and looking around, and it was foggy and everything. It was like, I was like this, this great wizard being lost in the forest and everything. It was so much fun, being cloud hidden, whereabouts unknown, looking at the mountains and the clouds, riding over them just like a blanket, how it just, swooshes over the mountains. There is this feeling, isn't it? We can't put it into words. This great mystery, we know it. But when we try to explain it, we forget the words. It's like the Chinese have this word called li, and its original meaning is the markings in jade, the fiber in muscle, or the grain in wood. And it's a great translation of it is the natural order, or organic pattern. That's good, organic pattern. And it's just a pattern that you see when you look at a mountain. Now, when you see or a cloud. Now, when you're looking at a cloud, you know that it's not a mess. You know that there's some kind of order in it. It's not symmetrical, but there's something about it that's just nice. It's appealing to the human eye. It has this aesthetic quality to it. But we can't pinpoint that pattern. We cannot put it into words and say that this is it. And this is the kind of pattern that the artist pays a tribute to when he paints a landscape. But we can't put it into words. We know it's not a mess. A dirty old ashtray might be a mess, but this is not it. The flowers, the mountains, and all of that. So when the Chinese are asked, what is the order of nature? You see, they don't know. They know it, but when they try to put it into words, they forget the words. They can't explain it. So isn't it interesting? But it never makes a mistake. This way, you see, the foams in water, as the water sprinkles down the river, it never makes an artistic mistake. And you're also just part of this natural order. You're also part of it. And you see, when you look at the mountain ranges, you don't blame the valleys for being low and praise the peaks for being high, now do you? Why do you judge yourself that much for how you look or whatever? You see, an acorn is not lesser than a big oak tree. They are just perfect as they are. Yes, they are at different stages, but where they are right now, they are in perfect harmony, and they are just great where they are right now. And you're just the same. So getting back to the topic, it was such a great walk with my dog, walking back. It was raining and all of that. It was an amazing day. And I loved it. It was great. So then you see, this video is just a reminder for you to go outside. And I mean, you can do whatever you want. Please don't just listen to random people online. Actually, you can just, what I really recommend is just stop watching my videos and stop watching so many videos on YouTube and scrolling social media, all of that. But anyways, getting back to the topic, just making this video as a reminder, going outside, being in nature, realizing the connection that we have with everything else around us, that we're not something separate, cut off from it, but we have this connection with it. We have this apparent opposition with it. But underlying this apparent opposition, there is a hidden unity that you can't exist without it. So you see, isn't it interesting? So it's about, stopping thinking for a while and just experiencing, going outside, feeling your sensitivity. Just a side note, when talking about thinking and experiencing, this actually happens in two different parts of our brains. Our right side of our brains is responsible for, just experiencing. It's like the experiencing self, the here, right now self, the awareness self. I think, I'm not a neuroscientist, but the left brain is the thinking mind. it's the ego. I think, I mean, my baby. Probably not. Scratch that. It's the thinking mind. It's the language part. It's that makes up stories and just talks all the time and creates all of your problems. But when you're experiencing something new, it's the right side brain that's working. Yeah, I find this very interesting. I want to look into this more. I might make a video about this actually. Right side brain, left side brain. And just also very interesting with the philosophy of Jung. I will make a video about it probably recently. So getting back to the topic, you see, it's about being outside, noticing the beauty around you. Because as we said before, with the poet's eye, there is beauty everywhere around you. Just looking around, you can find it everywhere, but the little cracks in the ceiling, and of course in nature, but everywhere you can find it. You're just wondering at the fact that I have this device in front of me right now, and when I do this, it moves. We take this for granted, but just think about how crazy this is. Like the CPUs and all of this technology is one of like the most crazy and most detailed, most intricate things that humanity has ever made. It's so crazy. I mean, have you seen like a CPU under a microscope? The little transistors there, like a couple of nanometers wide and all of that. How crazy that is! You know, it's about wondering in life, appreciating it, being grateful for it, and feeling everything and just being quiet for a while, and feeling feeling the wind, the breath going down, just taking a deep breath, feeling the life flowing through you. This force that is pumping your blood, or pumping your heart, or you working your nervous system and secreting your hormones. You're not doing that, are you? Or are you doing that? It is out of your control. You're not doing it by conscious thought, but yet you're doing it. It's this universal force of nature that's flowing through you and everything else. And that is much more the real you than your conscious ego. You see, it's about just watching and feeling your sensitivity. And smelling the flowers and just absorbing them, that smell, and feeling that they also have this sensitivity, and when you touch them, you know that they are going to die, and you're going to die, and everything has this kind of sensitivity, and just feeling it all, really. Also feeling the sensitivity of other people, when you're talking to them. One of the most beautiful things that you can do is to actually listen to them and just look at them and their eyes and their mouths and their nose and everything, and absorb everything around them, everything about them. And it's about being connected. This is what we really want, is being connected, relating to the other, and connecting with the other person by absorbing it and being there 100% with them. I mean, isn't that beautiful? So you see, it's about noticing everything around you, your senses, your smell, eyes, touching, all of that, sensing the mystery of life, this frisky mystery that is surrounding your whole being, your whole existence, and just absorbing that, feeling that. So yeah, that was basically the video. I encourage you to sometime just take a break and just be aware, be mindful, be present, notice the things around you, because it's just great. Taking a break for a while and just being here, just watching, being around some trees. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And also taking some deep breaths, relaxing your body and the tensions in your muscles, relaxing your stomach and your chest. Because you see, a lot of the times from stress and from trauma, it can actually show physically also, with tensions in our muscles and all that, or closing down with our shoulders. But opening yourself up, stretching a little bit, just taking a deep breath, relaxing those muscles, it's gonna help a lot. So thank you for watching, thank you for being here, hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, leave a comment. I'm actually very interested about your thoughts. Just tell me whatever you want in the comments. Very interested in those. So I'll also you can check out my email, you can contact me, we can make a video call if you want to chat, email in the description. So thank you for being here, thank you for watching this video, have a great day, and goodbye.